This one is called Twitching in the Retirement Home. Let's go! Stand up and get ready, take your shirt off and shout rev deuces. Stream starts now. And now that I have your attention, it's time for us to get serious. Say hello and chat to your friends. Fires up the stream, hear the good vibes come. Let's distract you from that terrible day. Your wife doesn't suck, your husband is a nag. But here you matter, and there's very little lag. Rev deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown. Patch notes hit, he's already read it. Scopely's wild, he's not gonna edit. Game's a mess, he still stands tall with spreadsheet sass and a reverent call. Do you miss having someone to talk to when you're bored? To talk to when you ain't got nothing to do? Do you miss having someone to talk to when it's late at night? Well, have I got a stream for you? Rev deuces stream, yeah, we laugh as one. Telling dad jokes and flirting with every daughter and son. We're gonna burn our retirement homes on down and shake our asses like Nurse Rose Brown.
Would really help if I unmuted my microphone, wouldn't it? Welcome in, everybody. How y'all doing? It's Sunday. Sunday. Monster trucks. I don't know. I'm an oddball. Y'all knew that before you hit that button. Welcome in. We're obviously going to talk STFC today. Lots going on and more news, more good things, I think, in the game. Don't worry. We're not hyping up anything crazy, but I do think a lot, and I know a lot of you have been asking for like the Boldy Go style events to return. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about new servers launching. Look, we had gone a year from Scopely launching any new servers. I'll cover this more in depth. They have now launched several in that time span in just the past couple months. We'll talk about that. We will talk about a lot of things today, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. Welcome in if you're new here. My name's Rev. I make content for Star Trek Fleet Command and over on Discord and Twitch. We do it for War Thunder as well. We're going to go through all the things, and we'll get started with the interim event schedule as soon as I say hello to all of the folks who are here today. Eddie, Sandra, LJ, K-Gall, King Kuko. Good to see you. Mark Lasuk, Jeremiah Jordan, one of our green names out there. They're supporting the channel financially. Greatly appreciate you, Jeremiah. Brian P. Swift, Eddie, Sugar Fat Man, one of the biggest nerds in this game. Flashman, another one of our green names as well as Brian. Big appreciation y'all being here. Moose is here, the level 70 whale, always spending their hard-earned money on the game, not their family. Good to see you. Gregory, RB, Cypher, Scott, and Scott. There's back-to-back Scotts. Scotty, two hottie. There's two Scotts and they're both hotties. Good to see you. Jose, JM, Elixir, Eddie. Welcome in, everybody. Lots of stuff going on. What I'm going to start us off with is I think what a lot of people who end up watching this video after will probably like kind of want in the beginning. They'll want that juicy info right in the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the interim event schedule. And this is a shout out to Scopely because they actually provided communications ahead of time for both weeks. I know I was surprised when it happened as well, but it did. And because of that, Q-Snap, woo, there we go. Interim event schedule. There in background. Time Lord says, hey there, hope you're feeling better. Keep up the work. Still at 90, 95%. I've been teeter. I know I've been saying that for several days now, but like I'm at a point where like the progression to getting 100% is really slowed. I think it's still going that direction. My voice has obviously returned to normal, which is fantastic. I weighed, depending on the day, between 208 and 210 pounds. So like I've lost a lot of weight, but I think I'm healthier now. People are not talking to me about having sunken eyeballs anymore, which is, you know, both not insulting and appreciated. And yeah, we're getting there, but I still am not 100% with the surgery, and we're getting there. Like I said, we're definitely better than we were, which we're very appreciative of, and thank you to y'all for helping out with that. So we have had 2 weeks of interim scheduling communication being done in, I would say, an expeditious manner. I know, dangerous. Almost sounds like I'm complimenting them, but the truth is the past 2 weeks of communication for events have been good, as in we're getting them promptly. This actually came out a couple days ago, and it came out in game. So not only did you get it in the official Discord, but as Rev has been griping, right? I've been honestly griping. They need to put this out in other forums, and they also put it out in the end game. Now, I still got to bug them more to do it on the X account, the Facebook account, etc. But communication is good. And this week, starting tomorrow, you're going to see Sarah's Invasion. Now, many of you might have questions. Let me remind you that this current run of Flashpoints was the last one that's running before they take it off the market and make changes. That's what the general manager, Connor, stated, that September would be when Flashpoints stop. Because I know a lot of people brought that up. Like, oh, they said they were stopping Flashpoints, but they're running it again. This run of Flashpoints that is currently ongoing was planned to continue to run. And it was starting September, you would see changes. An immediate change you can see is the fact that they're running the old school version of Flashpoints, Sarah's Invasion. That starts tomorrow. Also starting tomorrow is an event that has been highly requested by many of you. In fact, if you're in the chat right now, there's already like 250 people here. If you've been asking for the Boldly Go events to return, please raise a hand, say something in the chat, drop an emote. I don't care what you do. Let me know so that I don't think that I'm crazy, but a lot of folks have been coming to me in the DMs saying, hey, Rev, when's Boldly Go stuff coming back? Well, starting tomorrow, you have another Boldly Go event. It's the return of Makala's Crucible. So, and I am very curious, earnestly and honestly, do people enjoy this? Because if so, this is a good thing to announce and pass on. I know James is here asking about Wandering Warriors. There we go. It's always that guy. But let's see, we got Rusty, Thomas, Dark Smythe, My Third Life, Murph Chicken, Kevin, Everclear, Jeremiah, JG, Sandra, Kevin, Rusty. A lot of folks all saying that they do. Now, Artilac being one of the negatives and saying no, which is fine. If you don't like it, that's absolutely okay. But going by the chat right now, there are a lot of folks who are looking for Boldly Go. So starting tomorrow, September 1st, we're actually, by the way, for those who don't know, we're 48 hours from my wife's birthday. Let's go, wifey. Already got her present, so don't worry about it. But, woo, excited. So, different run of our schedule. Also note that starting tomorrow, there is a promo code you're going to want to enter. Look at the very top up there. Promo code is going to be STLabor. Do remember that for us Americans, it is Labor Day. So if you're from the UK, Australia, wherever you're listening to the show right now, in America, we have our Labor Day tomorrow. So everybody in the world will be able to benefit by using the code STLabor. However, please note that if you try to run and activate the code right now, it doesn't work. Also, don't honestly expect it to work as soon as event reset happens either. Give it a little bit of time. However, there will be a code with freebies that you will be able to redeem. Everybody. So I'm telling you the code right now. It is STLabor. All right. Tuesday, we've got the Summer Officer Flash Pass starting. So another Flash Pass during our interim week, which is to be anticipated. Those are little, 6, 7-ish day runs. Then you've got the Wednesday Star Trek Day Battle Pass. For those that don't know, this is going to be Star Trek Day. Yep, this is when everybody should be celebrating Star Trek Day. Not as well known as May the 4th for Star Wars, but still, we've got Star Trek Day. Now, we'll get to that in a second because Thursday, more transigen mining. For any of you who've been, hey, I'm tired of mining transigen. Good news. That's too daggum bad. Yeah, who knew? Who knew? Mine more transigen. It's going to keep happening, so you might as well get used to it. And you need to mine all 4 variants. Are you mining all 4 variants? Or are you OPC hunting all 4 variants? Either way, I'm proud of you. Get out there and get to work. More of that happening. Friday is where all these Star Trek Day events start. You've got an ALB, an AMS, and an SMS. And don't you worry your bottom little dollar. There will be packs available for you to purchase. I know many of you out there it's burning a hole in your pocket. You don't know when you're gonna be able to find an excuse to give Scopely money. Good news, Big S.
We've got some packs for you, baby. I've worked really hard to create and curate a brand new set of packs that you're going to want to buy. Buy more packs.
So, we've got that happening, and then I'm starting this upcoming next weekend, because today's Sunday, so following Saturday. Maybe I'll do it like this way. But following Saturday, Heroic, SMS, and SLB for Cosmic Choice tokens. So there you go. That is the run upcoming. Also should be noted that tonight, well, for me, it's in the middle of the morning. It's 3 a.m. for me, but this time will display based on your time zone on Discord. You'll have a maintenance. So be warned if you did not know, maintenance happening roughly 15 hours from the time of this video being live right now. So if you did not know that, hopefully I've got you all caught up on the things that are happening. Now, this was available in your game, but I know not everybody clicks that button and reads that news. So you can come to the content creator with the big infos. Yay, yay. Corey says, I remembered Rev. Oh, Sunday. I'm so proud of myself. Thank you, Corey. Now I remember you and your wife and the little Rains. How are y'all? Hopefully doing well. Ultra says the maintenance is prime time for arenas and APAC. No love for APAC. Truth is, Ultra, I don't know if they remember you exist, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I love you anyway. And I do understand your gripe. Speaking of APAC, they are not one of the places launching a brand new server, FYI. However, since June of 2025, we have had 5 new servers launched, including 2 EU servers, 3 US-based servers, and no APAC servers. And it's curious. Here's the reason I say it's curious. You look at when they launched these in June, they were not successful launches. I'm not trying to be a mean butt face, just trying to be honest. In June, you only got 1,279 total accounts so far on the June server launches. In the EU, you got 1,151. Now, generally, and you can see by comparison, server 710, for many of you that know, is the server that I encourage many of you to come join me on. I play on that one. Well, that server at its peak hit about 3,000 or over 3,000 players before they, petered out. Well, we just had 2 servers launched in June, one for US, one for EU, that already basically need a merge. But the truth is, I don't know where they could merge. Maybe with 718, we'll see. 2 new ones have dropped over here. One of them is technically unknown / inactive at the moment. I'm curious. I'd actually have to pull Chrono for that one. But you have EU 410 and EU 718, both registering right around 140 members that just launched like a week ago. Now, Scopely has been making really big pushes with content creators on streaming platforms like Twitch and other platforms, and trying to get more players into the game like that. This is the way they've done it for a very long time. Here's the struggle bus and drawback. I am curious how well that is working. Now, I talked to a few of the VIPs this morning about their thoughts, and the overall consensus was that Scopely is getting desperate because they had not launched servers in a year. Look, we track all this on STFC statistics. You can see all this information for yourself, and you see it was 1 year. Remember, they used to launch servers every quarter. They went an entire year between launching servers, which means all new players are being backfilled into existing servers. So between June and June of this year and June of last year, if you were a new player, say that you joined in January, you might have ended up on 710, you might have ended up on server 20, right? They were pushing in new players into various existing servers to then try to further flesh them out. But doesn't seem to be the case now because they've launched new ones, and now when they launch new ones, they always push those players into the brand new servers. They are trying to, again, get a set and a subset of new players. In fact, one of the players on server 718 is the former largest spender from server 711. So whatever works for you, I guess. That is, what's their name? Gosh, I'm blanking on their name. Somebody from server 711 can tell me. What was it? Lotus. By the way, Tim, I got something in my eye. I'm so sorry. Tim, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships to the channel here to support me and my family. Bartman, John Armstrong, Trek Diva, Alden Pride, and V-Real. Welcome to the membership channel. Here you got special colored your name, special icons, and you can drop in some special emotes. Thank you, Tim, for supporting my family financially. It means a lot. It is never required. It is always appreciated because I realize that I'm just a ginger guy with a camera, so you don't have to give me anything. Thank goodness that you do, because I'm able to feed my 3 children. And let me just tell you, I'm very thankful for that, and really hope you know that. The new redeem code, Bob, is ST Labor, but is not active until tomorrow. Not active. There is a new redeem code for tomorrow, but it is not active. So if you go try to turn it on and you say Rev gave you a bad code, it's because it's not active yet. So. I've also noticed way more server merges in the last year than I remember. I think that is just recency bias, Kal-El, because the rate in which they merge servers has not changed. Now, we can argue that there's more servers that need a merger. For example, if I can tell you the server that probably needs the merger the most right now, 94, is really hurting. Look at this, server 94, really struggle busing, as is 409. But these two servers really, really low in terms of overall population. In fact, if you actually go to server 94 on the power boards here, and we look up server 94, it'll actually show you an even lower pop, 962, based on what it's pulling actively and not including things like level 1 accounts. So there are a lot of things that we can argue need to happen, like certain mergers and everything, but it really just depends on when Scopely gets around to doing it. Now, if you are curious about your server, your alliance, etc., all this information we pull every day, multiple times a day on stfc.pro. So if you're curious who's won the most tournaments or who's winning tournaments, who's doing Flashpoint, what servers are able to complete Flashpoints right now, and as you can see, nobody yet. If you're interested in all that type of information, head on over to stfc.pro. And while it is third party, as in it is not official, we have a lot of volunteers who are working really hard, tirelessly to put out great info with more stuff coming in the future. So really cool stuff if you want to check it out. Really cool stuff if you want to check it out. But, oh yeah, they did it different this time. So ignore the 2, 3, 4. This is the old stuff. But anyway, ignore that part. There's a lot of 100% stage ones. Anyway, you can also come over to Incursions and check out the Incursion scoring. With the most recent version, you can actually go to the server info and sort by who has the most Incursion wins. That's, of course, going to be server 201 over in APAC. Ultra gets mad that APAC isn't respected, but we can say server 201's been beaten up on the 4 other APAC servers for 3 years now pretty handily. Yeah, it's they're 28-0. EU has a 23-6, and US has a 20 or multiple 22-6s if you're looking at rankings. Yeah, I didn't win. Flashpoint just hasn't been changed around. So anyway, there you go. More information. Good for y'all. And a reminder before we wrap up today's infographics in the background section and segment, don't forget that we do have in our Alliance Tournament spreadsheet the easiest 10K tasks to do, how to go after them with basic, direct information. Check it out. This is a big one that many of you should be having access to now as well. This temporal conduit one. Had to remind us about 201. There goes my good mood. There's just no making the APAC server happy. I'll say that. There's no making y'all happy. And Lord knows I love y'all so much. All right. Let me take my medicine real quick because I'm an old man. Here we go. Thank you very much for their patience. All right. Any questions about the main topics we just hit? Any questions on Alliance tournaments? Any questions on the interim events? And any questions on the STFC.pro stuff? Any questions at all, honestly? But I want to make sure all topics basically that we just covered right here that require infographics get answered really quickly. What is APAC? APAC stands for Asian Pacific. So New Zealand, Australia, the Philippines, Korea, Japan, basically that entire region except for China. That's what APAC is. If we did have China, 2 things would be guaranteed. Number 1, we'd have a much higher population. And number 2, there'd be way worse cheating. And that's not me showing an insult at China. They just don't view cheating the way Western culture does. Y'all go play CSGO and stuff. That just is how it is. Play War Thunder when they had the Southeastern Pacific regions for servers. It just is how it is. So if it ever opens up to China, man, that's going to get you your population back. But woo doggy, there could be a lot of botting. I think everybody has it. Like 3,000 people on a server, 2,814 of them have a bot. So, Sugar Fatman says, with the Labor Day store, the 10K Syndicate task is achievable free to play if you save up all your turn-ins. Correctamundo. That one is on this list over here. And because it varies based on how often you can do it, we have it listed as a potential free-to-play task, but it just depends on that month and that week. Are they making it available to players like Sugar Fatman is saying via the various stores and such that are open. So Australian servers across loads of MMOs don't get that much love from devs. I've noticed this over the years of gaming. And there is truth to that. Part of that is the fact that there's just not that many players in Australia and New Zealand, right? And that's not like to be insulting, but Australia's got a population of 27, 25 million. New Zealand's got a few million. There's just not a lot of folks over there. Man, I don't know what's in my eye, if it's an eyelash or what, but there's something in there bugging the fire out of me. I apologize, y'all. I'm sitting here messing with my eye. But there's just not a lot of people in Australia. There's not a lot of people in New Zealand. And if there's more players that played, they would obviously get more of a focus. And I feel for y'all. I don't believe that should make you get the short end of the stick. But like we were just talking about, well, you're about to have maintenance tonight. Actually, a good chance to remind. I do want people to know this. There's maintenance tonight. Well, for me, it's in about 15 hours. For Asia Pacific, it's in the middle of your day. But there is a 3-hour, 2-hour maintenance about to hit. If you're in Asia Pacific, please be aware of that. When you wake up in the morning and you go to work, don't expect to be able to log into log into Star Trek Fleet Command and get your stuff done. There's going to be a maintenance. Just an FYI. That would actually be around probably you getting off work is the time that would happen, depending on where in New Zealand / Australia / Singapore you are. But I want y'all to be aware there is a maintenance tonight. So note that. Well, Ultra Vetica, what it comes down to, because you are right, Japan, Korea, etc. exist. And this is just giving you some STFC history. A Star Trek Fleet Command tried to break into the Asian market, specifically in Japan, back in about 2021. They spent millions of dollars. They even opened an office in Japan trying to capture Star Trek Fleet Command there, and it just did not work. It fell on its face. Korea and Japan just did not jump into Star Trek Fleet Command. They were doing marketing gimmicks where they had major Japanese YouTubers running around Tokyo chasing a truck that said Star Trek Fleet Command all over it, had big graphics and stuff. They had connected with a lot of content creators, and it just didn't pop off. Like, those people jumped on really quickly, and then when the creators stopped playing the game, the players who had followed with them just did not stay. And that's one of the reasons that you had so many mergers for Apex servers, is a lot of those players just kaputted. Now, there are Apex servers that have like South Korean clans and stuff like that. I'm not saying they don't exist. What I'm saying is the greater populations of those countries just did not accept Star Trek Fleet Command, like, for example, Germany did. There is a huge German population in Star Trek Fleet Command for a country that's like 50 million people. What's it? How many is in Germany? Hold on. Germany population, 83 million people. But still, there's a huge German population in the EU, right? There's a huge UK population in the EU servers. It just did not work when it came to Asia Pacific. And I would love them to try again, right? I really would love them to do it again. Like, it feels like they've given up on APAC, and I hate that. Especially for a game that clearly is begging for new people. Like, here, let me put this back up. It's begging. Look, they just launched 5 new servers. I mean, if we want to not count 204, they just launched 4 new servers in 3 months. They're clearly begging for more people. Give APAC a try again. Now, obviously, APAC, and here, we'll sort it by region for everybody. APAC doesn't have much, and the populations they do have are okay. I mean, actually, I really like 201's population. 3,000, anywhere between 2,500 and 3,000 active accounts. Keep in mind, that's not dailies, that's active. It's a solid population, but you've not had a server launch in a year and a half, and that was server 202 Cochrane, and it has a pretty solid number of players. But you just not have a new one launched, and they've still yet to have incursions. And I've brought that up to the overlords, and nothing's come of it yet. So why make new servers when they can put new players in old servers? That's very easy to answer, King Kuko, because you want to make more money. Newer servers translates to more dollars than just putting in like Mad Mel in server 20, because you're creating new curated environments where everything's new. You have new pods of whales that can be developed, which means that you're creating an opportunity for 10 to 30 people to spend more than if those 10 to 30 people went to an already established server. The whole reason to create new servers on any free-to-play game is you want to create a certain level of population, like 2,000 to 3,000 total accounts, and then you want to create a certain small population of super spenders. And the best way to describe this is, if you are a spender, you are more likely to fight amongst yourselves if there's 10 to 30 of y'all than if there's 200 of y'all. And if they just throw every super spender on the same server, you're going to, by nature, because there's always somebody who's a bigger fish, you're by nature going to spend less. For example, let me use, because he's a friend, he won't mind me using him as an example. So let's go over to server 710. The strongest player and arguably biggest spender is a guy named Humble. He's level 70. However, I know what he has spent. If he had gone onto server 20, he would not have spent 1/10 of what he has spent because he would not have had any actual competition or the ability to be at the top. It just wouldn't have been feasible. So that would mean he did not spend, which means Scopely would have lost thousands of dollars by putting Humble on an older server. That's the point of creating newer servers in a free-to-play model of a game. You have a smaller population size per server, but it gives you more opportunity to incentivize those people who are willing to spend to have that smaller competition table and go from there. I guess a better way to describe this is like when you go up to the casino and you want to play Texas Hold'em, they're not playing Texas Hold'em with 15 decks and 200 people at the table. They're playing Texas Hold'em with one deck and 8 people at the table, right? Smaller, curated spending pods to get the highest maximum spend from those players. That's why they do it. Am I telling you I agree? No, you asked a question and I'm explaining, and hopefully now you understand why they go about that process. Now, the real thing is, can they be successful with that process now as in they were in the past? The June servers would seem to indicate that is a struggle bus right now. We'll see what these two show up as. So, Al says STFC want to tap into the Asian market. They need to bring in more avenues for cosmetics. From your lips to the dev ears, y'all know I've been preaching that for quite a while now. I 100% agree. I've been preaching that for quite some time, and I will continue to. That is absolute. I mean, look at a lot of the popular games that are really, like even India right now is really popping into CSGO, which might surprise a lot of people. Like CSGO's like second life is actually coming from the Asian market. And a big thing over there is the cosmetic game. STFC, if they want to recapture, I do think should lean more heavily into that. We'll see if they do. But I completely agree with that statement. Anyway, thoughts, comments of anything we've said so far. I don't want to make sure I don't miss anything, right? If you have questions, comments, throw them in. It's the benefit of having a guy who's devoted his life to this and other games. I can tell you some of the stuff. We do talk about this in a little bit more in depth on our podcast. If y'all are curious, RevDeuce.com. We have a podcast on there for all of our members. New episode just dropped a couple days ago. How do I sync my power with STFC Power Score? Just exist. And then the STFC.pro automatically pulls power every few hours. So if you've got a new max power, just keep that max power. And the next time STFC.pro pings the STFC servers, we'll have whatever your current power level is. Or whatever your current max is, your new max, I guess. Congratulations on your new max. Come over here and hit these. What tasks are we expecting from Crucible, or will it be a copy and paste? I don't know what you're meaning. There is no task for Crucible. Are you talking about, oh, I'm sorry. My brain was thinking Crucible of War. McCall's Crucible, I expect it to be the same run as last time, maybe slightly changed. We'll see. They did not put out a list to the CCs. Even though I'm unofficial, none of the official CCs have the list of events that I'm aware of. So we'll wait. I assume it'll be the same run as the last Macalla's, or at least similar. We'll have to wait and see what that actually ends up looking like, though, because I'm just making an educated guess there. Real love the return of the Boldy Go format. It's like a task planner keeping alliances or keeping players in the alliance focus. And I agree. And look, I've been saying for months that format should return because I think that it is one of the better things they've come up with in the past year, the Boldy Go style. And it's very similar to what a lot of other games of this format will run. And we'll see, as long as it's not buggy and problematic. But yeah, any word on Crucible of War? Not running this time around. Not running. We're getting McCall's Crucible instead. So, CEO says American audience are different from European and different Asian, and you can't use the same marketing strategies. 100% agree. That's what we were just talking about. 100% agree. They're very different. Culturally different, economically different in terms of like what somebody's willing to spend, what they value, etc. 100% agree. Yeah, so we'll see if they decide to dive back into that. Again, I want APAC servers to get love and survive. Like, I don't think it's fair what, they lack sometimes. I don't think it's fair how they do get ignored with things like maintenances. But end of the day, I understand why Scopely does it. If there's going to be a redheaded stepchild, you might as well make it your smallest subset. And that's what APAC servers are at the end of the day. You're the smallest subset. Doesn't mean you're not important. You're important to me, but you do often get the short end of the stick. James also with a good reminder, everybody out there, don't forget today is Sunday, meaning don't forget to do your anomalous phenomenon. Very, very important to do your anomalous phenomenon. so you can get those turn-ins, get that thing maxed. If you haven't maxed it, what are you doing? All right, let me get more of these in because I'm taking my Enterprise, almost want to say Enterprise D. No, my basic Enterprise is now tier 8. I've got 9 more levels I've got to go. Level 34, getting easier and easier to max these things as never before. But good stuff. All right. Lost Sauce is the problem with the milk whales and move on to the next one. They just keep the whales already here. It would have been better for them. Sure. Okay, cool. Not going to argue that. But here we are. Here we are. We'll see what things look like here in the next 6 to 12 months. How do you get to that Blues guide again? So that is on our spreadsheet for Alliance tournaments that myself, Blue, Jules, Quazel, somebody have worked really hard on. It is in my Discord. I'll go ahead and paste it into the chat here, the YouTube chat. So y'all can go ahead and grab that if you want. It is now in the chat as a Google Doc. We also have it in my Discord. It is under the volunteer charts channel. So if you want to join the Discord, that's the best way to get all this stuff. If you're one of those players that's like, hey, I don't use Discord, no desire to use Discord, I respect that. You can also message me on X or Facebook. And either one of those pages, I can get you what you need. I get it. Not everybody wants to use Discord. Not everybody wants more social media on their phone. And I definitely can respect that. So if that happens to be you and how you view things, just find a way to hook up with me and we'll get you taken care of. All right? You just got to find a way to get to me is what I'm saying. Just got to find a way. All right, back to the comments. All right, Boldy Go Tasker, Op specific, correct. First wave, an Op 30, and will not have the same as an Op 70, correct. They do segment it generally by G range. So G3 will be different than G6, generally speaking. So McCall's Crucible, again, very look forward to event, and I am looking forward to seeing if it's as good payouts as it was last time. I think that Boldy Go has generally been one of the better things that they've offered here, and again, it may sound like I'm gushing, but I mean, it can be difficult to find good things in STFC who our lead is shrinking. All right, I got to let our guys and gals know. Hold on 1 second. Hey, everyone. Our first place lead in AT is shrinking. Make sure you're doing your task today so we can hold it. Better placement equals more points. All right. Sorry, just had to remind my alliance on server 710 that our rank 1 lead is shrinking. We had to keep it up there. Other comments, questions here in the chat, make sure you hit me up. We're here for it. Give the ships the waifu skins and the game skyrockets in Asia. Yikes, but true. Yikes, but true. Revs now in Horde. Well, different server. This is my server 10 alliance. Anybody out in the chat is welcome to join if you want to come over to server 710. We have a lot of fun over here. Server 710 is a little bit more laid back compared to like server 20 or 16 or some of the older servers. But a lot of good people over here. A lot of good people. OGOP says, since there will be no Cal this time, hope the new Crucible includes Alliance tokens as a replacement source. Players need shield currency. Fair. I find the biggest value to Crucible 4 is actually the ability to get those Armada directives. But that shield currency also big. And speaking of shield currency, opportunity for Rev to gripe and complain. Scopely, when am I getting sliders so I don't have to manually type in 1 shield every time? Stranger World Scotty needs to be sourced. He does. With him being so brand new and with him being so sought after because he's so important for the drop ships. Yeah, but long-term right. Yeah. I hate having to do this manually. This is terrible. Fix it, Scopely. Give me sliders. Give me quality of life sliders. Need it. Server 710 is a lot less toxic than 702. I've not personally experienced 702, so I can't say anything. But I know we have a good group here. All right. Would like Wrath of Khan Carol drop more somewhere? Fair. I mean, again, a lot of the officers that, again, this is what Scopely has said. You're going to find them getting added more and more into here. Keep in mind that this is very level-based, so you're seeing me see a lot less than what you might see. But the officer choice system is where Scopely's going with a lot of this sourcing. So if you're looking for sourcing a lot of these, start looking in there. As things become newer, or I'm sorry, as things get older, you're going to see a tab created for them in the officer token system. Yes, I think Lau, is that how I pronounce your name? Tomorrow, or roughly 22 hours from now, would be a better way to put it, because not sure where you're at. But roughly 22 hours from now, we'll have another Boldly Go event. Macala's Crucible starts tomorrow. So, yeah, if we go into my big account, I'll put this on the screen here in a second. I'll just go to the event store and scroll over. Yeah, he's got so many more options. But the Symbiosis and Galaxy crew, which I can't see over here, is there. The Retaliation crew, Sex 31 and Voyager, Mirror and Strange New Worlds. All those are active over there that I can't see on this account. So, Officer Depot is one of the best things they've done recently. The key to Officer Depot is they have to continually provide the currency, and they've been doing that. Again, I hope nobody takes this as like we're forgetting all the bad that's been happening. But Scopely's been doing really good about continually sourcing this token, making it something that players can use. While there have been some glaring problems, and I hope nobody's forgetting those, there have also been some really good things they've been adding, and I hope the good things continue and the bad things shrivel up and die. But there have been some good things happening, and hopefully more good things continue to happen. Let's see, I got some directives. I got to go do my armadas over there in the dropships. We got to switch over to server 20 here in a bit. As the video you post with Event Store changing, I would guess the bigger ships won't get any VPs at the end of Arc Event Store. See, we're still debating, or rather discussing with them how that's going to work. So it's my hope that we don't lose all these things. So all right, get all this in. First, I feel like that with all the bad that Scopely is doing, that we also equally highlight what Scopely is doing well. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. I'll be honest, I'm not doing it so Scopely can appreciate it. I'm doing it so that you can know of good things that you can take advantage of in this game. Because when things are at their most frustrating, the 400 people who are here right now, you know what you need more than anything? A reason to keep playing besides the fact that you have great friends here. Like I know, Flashman met his boyfriend here on STFC and he's madly in love. Just using you as an example, Flashman. Even though that didn't happen, just go with me. That's great and all. But friendships on the internet can only last you so long, right? You've got to actually enjoy the game you're playing. So that's the point for me, to highlight Macala's Crucible and to highlight the good that they're doing so that you know it's not all terrible. Love you too, Flashman. It's not all awful, right? We can find some of the good while still pressuring them to make good better. I'm not trying to help Scopely out. I'm trying to help you who are out there like Stingray Narwhal, who's frustrated there's no sliders on the one-day shields. Okay, you're right, but at least we got this over here now. So, just got Ops 49, catching up with research, and our 5-star Ops 50 or 51. 5-star starts at 51. So if you go to Ops 50, that is still G4. You'll be able to get the G4 epics, and you won't get thrown into the G5 lands and expectations. So, good question, Time Lord. More questions, y'all. Drop them in. If you have questions about the events this week, let me know as well. Trying to just make everybody as informed as possible. Hopefully help y'all have as much fun as possible. One thing I dislike is that you now can't win the new officers in the SLB since they're now officer tokens. There are definitely pros and cons to it. And the way that they're sourcing the new officers is very different, but still very spendy, right? So like I have friends who have Strange New World Scotty at tier 3. And then obviously most people in this chat, I would assume, even though most people who come to the streams are donuts, like they grind the game, they're obsessed with the game. Most people in this chat, 400 people, maybe 30 people in this chat have got Strange New World Scotty. Maybe. So I definitely get, there's pros and cons to everything. I do think, generally speaking, the officer token system is a massive improvement to what was previously there. I don't think it's perfect, though. I don't think it's perfect. There's always something in this game that is just like so close to being there, but it's not. So, yeah, look, of course, everybody's gonna be like, I've got him. Like I said, there's gonna be 30 of y'all who haven't, but most people don't have Scotty and currently have no way to get him, which is a pain point because he's so good for dropships. I mean, people have been complaining about how difficult dropships are. Well, you can't access the officer that helps with that. How do the converter tokens work? Which ones, first wave? Which ones? I'd actually have to switch accounts to show you. Which ones? The ship parts ones, or, sorry, taking a vitamin, or the mining ones? Sourcing is bad for certain officers. Sure, if y'all don't remember, we have a master chart that shows you the sourcing for all officers in the game. Does anybody remember that chart? I'll put it up on the screen here, 1 second. Give me a second, I get the right browser up. One second, I gotta go to my Google Drive. Find it. Officer tiering. What's the name of it? Officer tiering and sourcing cost. All right. And here we go. So for those that don't remember, we have this spreadsheet as well that tells you, is there sourcing? And we do it by ops level. So for example, we can change this to 34. Well, this one's common only. I'd have to make a copy. But you make a copy, you can change it for yourself. So again, this is looking at based off level 50, where you can source everything and where it's at. So some things have 9 sourcing, like Enterprise E Picard has 9 different places that you can source them. Right? Some things have 1. Some things have none. Lieutenant Picard, for example, is a pay-only officer. The only pay-only officer in the game that is like actually obtainable. Like, because technically Tau, you could argue, is pay only, but he's not even available. So we have this chart as well. If you have not used it, would strongly recommend you checking this out. It is a very useful chart. I did a video on it a couple months ago to highlight its existence again. And you will also see when I do videos about certain officers, I'll include this information saying, hey, here's the sourcing for this officer. And that's where I'm pulling it from. I'm pulling from this spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is in the volunteer charts channel of my Discord, as all spreadsheets are. And if you need help finding it, tag one of myself, tag one of the volunteers who have orange names in my Discord, tag one of the moderators who have red names, tag Rev. We'll definitely help you find it. You get Lieutenant Picard if you're a new player in the low-level battle passes. Well, that's spending, King. That's spending. I don't think the free track gives enough. And then, because you progress through the new battle pass so quickly, you end up now, and you basically end up with like half of them like a baby jelly. So, fish oil gummy, by the way. Here, let me. I'm gonna grab a link to this. I'm gonna hide the emails though. There you go. You get them full. I thought you only got about half of them in the Frontier Pass, free to play. Pop-up. But if they've got him fully in the Frontier Pass, that's a great improvement. And we can put that in the update to the sheet. I can make an update to it. But I haven't restarted the game since July 2024. And I'll be honest, I love restarting the game, but I don't want to abandon this level 34 account. I enjoy Server 710 so much. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. Keep getting the match refiner, but not sure how they're used. Well, first wave, let me show you. So we're going to close this account down. So we're going to rotate over to server 20. Here's how you use the bonus tokens. So you can claim them every 2 weeks. And then there is a converter tab. Go into that, and then you pick what you need. So for example, the ones that I typically use the most of is I'm going to transfer crystal into something. Because obviously, everybody knows that you get absolutely oobles and goobles of crystal epic in G5, but you don't get oobles and goobles of everything else. So you go into the converter tab once you've been getting these tokens, and then you can do a straight 120 for 120 converter, whereas the regular converter, which exists, is not as generous. So like if I do the regular material converter and I want to do crystal to gas, I'm going to spend 171 and then only get 54, right? So not near as good in terms of a trade-off. So the bonus converter is the one you want the most of, and you want to save those tokens every time they come around to use in the bonus G5 material converter system. The G5 converter system, not as good, but still available. Yeah, Doko, I do think you're right. It's every 7 days, even though the timer's off. So now the shipyard one is a little bit different because the shipyard one, you have to get the favors done first before you can actually then do that. I think it's DTI. Gosh, what faction is that in? Is it in the DTI faction? No, it was in the Section 31 faction. Which faction is it for? It's Section 31, right? Yeah, it's the Shadow Market. The Shadow Market. So you got the Section 31 one you have to get for the ship parts, but you have to unlock these Shadow Markets, and that'll let you do it there. How do you get more quantum communicators? Running formation armadas with your alliance. Go run more formation armadas with your alliance to get more quantum communicators. Had to reset a node. Shame Scopely haven't created a way to convert mats into different grades. Well, that's intentional. I mean, look how they feel about scrapping. So, if you're doing solo armadas with 3 ships and they all have loot crews, is the loot rewards affected by all crews on the ship? I actually did a video breaking down how that works, Brandon. It's generally best if you're going to run a loot run, you do it with 1 ship because loot is distributed by ship power. So even if all 3 are running loot crews, it depends. You'd have to do the math. You could actually end up with less loot than more loot. It depends on what your loot crews are, what ships you're running, etc. But a lot of times it's more beneficial to run 1 elite loot crew on 1 ship than it is to run 3 for loot purposes. Again, it depends on what you're running. Because, for example, if you can hit a level 60 armada with 3 ships that have loot crews, but with 1 ship you can only hit like a 54, then yeah, hit the 60 with 3 ships. But we did do a video on how that is dispersed. Yeah, actually, wow, has it been that long? I could have sworn I did one more recently, but one second. There you go. I could have sworn I did one more recently, but Armada loot. Maybe I have, and I'm just putting in the title wrong. So that's also possible. It was 2 weeks ago. Did I do one 2 weeks ago? I could have swear I did one really recently, but maybe I'm just bad at looking up my own titles. Here, I'm gonna go look in my videos themselves. Quality of life improvements, squall research, loot crews for PvE and Armada loot. Yeah, it was 4 weeks ago. There, yeah. Look, there we go. I just talked about this. So there you go. This was like literally right before I got sick. So here, I'll grab the link to this video if y'all haven't seen it yet, so you can see how loot gets distributed and how the basis of that works. But you will need to run that for yourself. Like I said, it depends very greatly on what you're able to hit and what you're hitting with. But if you do the math and figure it out for yourself and you find it works for you, good. That's my goal. I want to make things better for everybody. All right, real quick, I'm going to go run. I'm just going to go run real. Oh, I just unlocked Savic. Nice. I'm not even going to bother changing that around. I'm going to go run some of those moddies real quick. Actually, we are going to loot it up a little bit because I'm just going to hit the 55s. I'm not going to bother with hitting the bigger ones. So below deck, obviously Hugh's not going to work. I mean, I can throw you up there until I decide to swap you for something else in like 10 seconds. I just don't really want to tear away from everything else. I'm lazy. So like Vial would be a much better option, but I'm not going to bother with yanking Vial. Picard Hugh would be a better option. I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to run it like that and not care. Because actually, yeah, I will swap out because Nurse Chapel's not going to work for this. So, this is the Rev lazily doing armadas. This is Rev lazily doing armadas. There we go. Or I'm sorry, entities, because they're not technically armadas. They're entities. All right. I'll go do the rares first so I can do my rare turn-ins. But the reason I do these, for those that haven't caught on, I want that currency, that mirror premium currency. So, you run formation armadas. Where do I turn in the stuff for quantum communicators? Okay, Al. So what you'll do is you'll go into your artifact gallery. You'll click the store button, and then you're doing this turn in right here, artifact restoration. There you go. That's going to give you, oh crap, you're talking about quantum communicators. I'm over here talking about, I can't even see it. Anyway, quantum communicators, different currency. You're talking about this building. So this is by your daily, in your gift section, your daily claim. My bad. That's on me. Artifact gallery schematics, getting confused with quantum communicators. There's too many currencies in this game, I tell you. There's too many currencies in this daggum game. That's on me. Apologies for mixing that up. So that's a daily claim, and then there's a Section 31 turn-in. Come in here. Oh, Meme's here. Thank you, Meme. Meme's already corrected me because I jacked up. But if you do Solar Armadas, you can get this turn-in right here. Again, this is available for mid-G4 and above with the Solar Armada mechanic, and then you have the daily turn-in. Apologies for calling out the wrong currency. Too many daggum currencies. Now, sir, and OGOP's saying this, the Fleet Commander, 7 of 9, has an ability that reduces the cost of that building if we're trying to be as efficient as possible. Rico, good to see you. Welcome in, my friend. How the heck are you doing? We'll get a cloak in so I can get that daily done. Try to get all my dailies done at one time. I like to combine things together. So there's also research to improve efficiency. There is. So artifact gallery, a little bit more important to me. Both are very important, especially if you're trying to get, you know, another fleet commander spot or even trying to upgrade those FCs. But I'm get all these farmed real quick so I can do these turn-ins again. Really hoping to get the premium mirror dust. That's the goal. Hoping to get as much premium mirror dust as I can, because that premium mirror research is still some of the best in the game. Even though I can't believe I'm saying this. It's over a year ago now, everybody. Y'all remember Mirror came out last summer? It's been a year. Still one of the best things that you can do in the game is get those premium researches. So even though the overall mechanic, absolutely with Hurak, can be frustrating, lots of value in getting it done as well. So let's get these turned in. A little bit more loot. Mirror came out the month you started playing. Wow, Denwit. When I think of you being here, I think of you being like one of my long timers. It's crazy. That's crazy. What are you launching? Just regular Armadas. Well, Armada Q running. Dejas Tolrato Lee Gwen DeMarco. Which honestly, I could just be running 5 of 11 for more loot. But oh well. I'm just kind of running things. Which Denwit am I? That's a great question. It is. It's a great question. All right, other comments, questions. Can't believe we've already been here an hour. This is wild. But that just goes to show you that this game can be fun, and there's a lot of information that needs disseminating. Premium's still not a part of all mirror currency pool from NCA, and nor will it ever be, Eddie. You can get premium multiple ways. You can get it by doing events like Zen Deep every week. You can get it from doing your PvP arenas, and you get it from flashpoints, and you can get it from the other one, Saris Invasion. There's no intention that I'm aware of to add it to the regular NSCA turn-ins. So, to my knowledge, there's never been an intention to do that either. So, hey, Christopher, welcome in. The flashpoint IEs don't really have that much base loot anyway. The majority of the currency gets from the chest. It's true. But if you can boost it, right? More is more. What ops level should be able to beat an ISS jelly for ATs? I'd have to know what that ISS jelly power is. Like, where are you actually going after it? You know, like, which mirror universe one are you going after? So, all right, got that. Let's go run a couple epics and see how much I'm able to turn in. If I can double chest it, fine. I don't feel like boosting and doing everything else to get a 60. Sure, slightly better, but you know what? Rev's going to be lazy. So I've earned enough to do a double. I'll take it. How much do I get? 325. So I got one of those and one of those. Not terrible. Let's go run the epic and try the same thing. Try the same thing. And then we can talk about flashpoint currency and what's more valuable. Obviously, it's going to be relative to a player's ops level and stuff, but we can talk about it. All right. Finally have mirror premium research all done. Nice, JB. You pulled the trigger for 63. Congrats, JG. Have you picked out your new ship yet? Have you picked your new ship out? Or are you going to get all three of them so you can get all of the hazard researches? None yet for you this run. I've gotten real lucky with some of my pulls here in the Flashpoint. But also I'll add that the last time Flashpoint ran, I didn't run a single armada or single entity, but I still did the basic pulls. So that also helped me save up some. So it's not like I've got oobles and goobles. I just was not doing. I was frustrated with the Flashpoint events like many of you were. I just didn't even bother running it last time around. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you, Ken Slayer. I appreciate that. Your kindness is very much appreciated. Your kindness is greatly appreciated. I'll run one more and see what that puts me at. Doing all three of the uncommons, very cool. That's what I plan to do. I'm not saying I'm going to upgrade all three of the uncommons up to absurd tiers, but I do plan on getting all three of the uncommons at 63 here when I decide to move up. Is the background music available streaming everywhere? Not yet. I've not finished the album, and we can definitely argue Rev's been lazy about it. I'd like to think that I was in the hospital, but I need to finish that album, but I've not finished it quite yet. Let's see how far we've gotten with the loots. How far? Wrong button. How far? Oh, I got a triple chest pull. Okay, that works. What do we get? 900. Wow. Good pull. I'll take that. Means I managed to roll the dice and get that premium every time. I didn't recognize whatever else I've got, but I saw the premium mirror dust. That was nice. So let's jump back over there. And between those two runs, I should be able to do at least one mirror research. Is the album all AI? It is. Yes. So I got to get this to 8. So I am 7 of 10 now. Obviously, I've still got to finish doing these. But now, one premium Syndicate XP away from a 50% boost in ISO damage. Going for op 66 day. Very nice, Ken. If you can get the Sigma speeders. Well, that's going to be how much can you grind in mirror, right? Lots of grinding in mirror. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and recall that. You want real musicians in it? Nope. Would love them to ask for $20 to unlock a full ship that you don't have, then $100, so it'll make it hard for their big player base to be able to afford things that you need. Like I said, Paul, the reason they run things like they do because that's how they make the most money. But I get it. It makes it frustrating for those of us who aren't willing to spend $100 on every new ship. I'm going to sound terrible when I say this, John, but I would much rather work with AI music because I can tune it to exactly what I want than dealing with people. And this is going to sound ironic considering my job is as a content creator and I deal with people. But anything that I can do in terms of my work that doesn't involve people, that's what I would always choose to do. If I could avoid, and I'm sure many of you understand where I'm coming from because I'm not insulting anybody individually, but if many of you could do your jobs and never have to deal with another human being, y'all would probably choose that. So that's why I do the AI stuff. I do not want to deal with humans. I want to manually manipulate it how I want with AI, and that's how I run my music. I'm sure many of you in your day jobs would love to just not deal with humans. So it's definitely not an indictment on any person or any musician. Just don't want to deal with humans. Are there any plans for multi-armadas free-to-play? Not that I'm aware of, but obviously since that was my idea, I want it to be free-to-play soon. Yeah. I want that to happen very soon. I don't know if or when it will, but since that was my idea that they took and monetized it, I absolutely want that to have a free-to-play path at some point in the near future. With how good it is, I don't know if they'll ever give it, to be honest with you. But I definitely want it, and I will definitely continue to scream at it and scream at them for taking my idea and turning it into a pure pay model. I will still scream at them for that. So, not just in your day job, John understands. Yeah. My job was replaced by AI. None of the jobs I've worked have been replaced by AI, but every job I've worked can now use AI to its benefit. Oh, look, I can get this prime. Wow, that's exciting. You know what? Let's do it. Wait, what all takes the away team's particle? What? Hold on. Yeah, I need to get this. I can't believe I've got this already. Absolutely. We're gonna get this. There we go. Why do you continue to pull ACC chests when your ACC is maxed? Habit. And honestly, with the thought of if they ever upgrade it in the future, I'll have the stuff. But most of it's out of habit. So, most of it's out of habit. Yeah, that one's a different currency. And we already got... Yeah, all this is different currency. So, I already got the ones I could get with the away team particle. Cool. Didn't make a mess up. Good, we didn't screw up. And now I'll get that one last. So only need 140 more of this. That's not many pulls. And then we'll get this done. That if you use musicians, you have to pay them. Like, I'm not opposed to paying people. I'm just not in the financial position to paying people right now. Like, when I was working on my card game, I was paying the artist to do the art. Right now, one of the reasons the card game is stalled is I don't have the money to continue the card game. So... Luckily, I had epic ACC stuff in the existing ones. Yeah, again, we'll see what they end up doing with the ACC. With G7 on the horizon, whether they push it back a little bit or whether they launch it when they were always going to launch it, whatever. We know it's on the horizon. And we'll see what that ends up doing to and with the game. How close am I to getting this? I need to go run another solo. I need to check how close I am to actually unlocking the field repair for the Rotaran. AI for the card game? I really wouldn't want to switch from using... I've had 3 different artists work on the card game. I'd really hate to just end it with AI. So... And then I'll say this. That community, like the trading card game community, they don't look very kindly on AI. So... They don't look very kindly on AI. All right, where is my ship abilities? How close am I? I am 48 of 120. I'm not even halfway yet to getting the field repair. Yeah. What do you think was the last update where Scopely actually focused on QOL? Well, there's never been an update where QOL was the only focus. That's never happened. Now, in the past year, we've been getting more quality of life. In the past 12 months, you've had more quality of life updates than in the past 36 or the previous 36 months. So the past year has given significantly more quality of life than the 3 years combined previously. That said, you've also got an absolute deluge of grind that has overshadowed all of that good. You know, and I use the transgen as a big example. The fact that this is 7 different things, 4 nodes to mine, 3 hostiles to hit, and that's not counting the flashpoint stuff. So it's easy to overlook all the good that's been happening. And I'm not going to defend Scopely. They dug their own grave there, and I hope they dig themselves out of it. But that's just the dirty truth. That's just the dirty truth of it. Even all the great quality of life they have been adding, you're going to overlook it when all this other stuff is going down at the same time. And that's just the nature of sentiment and gaming. And hopefully they realize that. I think they'll add freebooter system above 60. They've already said they will. They've already said G6 freebooters are coming. The question is when are G6 freebooters coming? It's already a known thing that that's going to happen. It's a question of when is it going to happen and how long do we have to wait? That's the question. And that is not something I have the answer to, though I wish I did. Group, Pike. And then group, where's Anorax? I'm going to go run some drop ships real quick. It'll happen tomorrow. I would love that. I would love that. I don't think that G6 should have been released without freebooters, if I'm being honest. Not having freebooters available in G6 to me is a very good reason to not go to G6. Because that returns you back to having minimum 30-minute dailies. Not counting events, not counting battle passes, not counting flash passes, not counting seasonal passes. Like that just returns your dailies back to being a pain in the keister. So That alone is a reason for me to not want to go up there. Now, I'm not saying there's not good stuff there. There is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like there's not almost 30,000 people in G6 or that everybody there's an idiot. They're not. But there's legitimate reasons to be hesitant to go into G6. So, 4 cube warp to kill your hostiles works. Sure. Still a pain. Still a pain. G5 recycling, you mean G5 scrapping? Like I told people on stream last night, do not look at G5 scrapping as something good. It's not going to be good for you. So don't even look forward to it. It's going to take us years for G5 scrapping to matter. So don't even look forward to it. If you're out there asking about G5 scrapping, you're already setting yourself for disappointment. G5 scrapping is being worked on. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it's going to be awful when it comes out. The race and the return are going to be terrible. So if you have any positive views on G5 scrapping for when it releases, you're setting yourself up for very, very big disappointment. Very big disappointment. Dropship crew, Pipe Moreau Anorax. Very generic, very easy. Yeah. Yeah. If you are looking at G5 scrapping as a positive, you're setting yourself up to be mad. Don't do that. It's going to take at least a year from G5 scrapping release for us to even have the potential of it mattering. So, except for the ability to scrap 40 ships, but do you really want to scrap 40 ships that are worthless? The only people who are going to benefit are the G6 players who continually built G5 ships to do leaderboards and now are running out of space in their hangar. And then they're going to be throwing away their ships and getting nothing in return. But I understand why. They've got no hangar space. But we're talking about a very small subset of players. Very tiny. Very tiny. That's your boat? Yeah, I get it. That's a boat some people are in, but it's a tiny boat. When building my G4 miners, should I scrap my G3s when they're done? I mean, it depends on how many G4 miners you built. I think the G3s are still pretty good in G4. I mean, I used my G3 miners all throughout G4. So. Strange World Pike, Kurt, Jim Kurt, Game Changer. This one's better for me. Again, we talk about crewing all the time. It's all dependent on what you have. It's all dependent on what you have. Heck, the crew I'm running right now, fun fact, this is the primary crew for fighting Breen hostiles right now. This one and Janeway Dock Anorax are very popular for fighting the Breen hostiles up at level 70. There's multiple, but those are probably the two most common I see between my whale players. Are you... See, freaking Kashar breaking again. Consistently inconsistent, just like its Overlord and Creator. Spike, Scotty, Stranger World, Giorgio. Yeah, solid one, Tim. But keep in mind, 99.99% of the game does not have Stranger World Scotty. This account doesn't have Stranger World Scotty. Only one of the G6 accounts I log into often has Stranger World Scotty. So, Stranger World Pike, Pelia, Sex 31, Giorgio. Yeah, that's another good one. Now, that one I could run. But, another good one. And you broke again. Stop breaking, dang it. Stop breaking. What's a recommended PvE crew with Stranger World officers? Well, you actually just got several of them listed right there. Stranger World Pike, Pelia, Section 31, Giorgio is quite popular in Strange New World circles. If you're doing dropships, if you have Stranger World Scotty, he's definitely a must to throw up as an officer. He's arguably the best officer for dropships. Arguably, he's right up there. It really comes down to what you've unlocked and what tiers you have. That's the biggest issue that we run into with G5 players especially, is some might only have Strange New Worlds at tier 1 and tier 2, which really limits how good they are. Are you still experiencing lag and having to restart your game? Nope. Not currently. Knock on wood. Ken says they run Janeway.Curon for hazard space. Spike, Hemmer, Sam Kurt for mirror transports. There you go. Run a little bit of speed in Janeway. I see you. Little speedy Janeway run. Yeah, it also definitely depends on what you're trying to kill as well, Tim, because different hostiles have different builds. Some builds are, loaded with Apex Shred. Some are loaded with ISO. It's depends on what you're fighting. John says, if you already have multiple G5 ships max tier and just want to get more open ship spots and it gives you Sigma, I'd find it as a positive. John, but you're talking about like they're going to give you 50 Sigma. Like, you can't look at it like they're going to give you 1,000,000 Sigma. You're going to get pennies on the dollar. You're going to get pennies on the $100. You're not going to get anything Sigma related as a level 70 that's going to help you. That's why I'm telling you to not look forward to it. Like, yeah, they're going to let you scrap an Enterprise D, and they're going to give you like 200 Sigma par steel for it. Maybe 2,000. You're not going to get anything good. So the only reason to look forward to it is if you need to clear up your spots. Why? Simple, Charles. This game does not like scrapping being an economic benefit. They have been very, very vocal about this. This is why when G4 scrapping came out, it was terrible. It is literally just to get rid of your hangar space. They hate scrapping being an economic improvement. They do not like that. Now, unless something has changed in the Scopely leadership, which to my knowledge it has not changed with this, that is why you should not look forward to an economic benefit of scrapping these ships. It will not be worth it. Just do it if you need to get a hangar spot like Rico. It will not be good for you. If you look forward to it, you'll only be disappointed, and I just don't want players getting disappointed. Now, they could shock the world and change that, but they've been very vocal and adamant for years that that is not something that they want scrapping to do. So, if they change their mind, I will be the first one here to eat crow and be happy. Just don't expect it. Just don't expect it. Whether you scrapping where you get a choice token upon completion, be cool. A choice token for what? Change up the system. Instead of giving resources, just give a token for an event store. Guess that could incentivize, maxing those out more. Parts or mats. But then, sure, either way, you're going to get shortchanged. It's kind of like the regular event store. You can technically get materials there, but would you ever waste your currency on materials? Like, would you take your 400,000 free-to-play on currency and go to the regular event store and drop it on mats? The return rate's abysmal. So the Vengeance won't be the Jelly 2.0 since you won't be able to do the main good thing and use it for higher level ships, Max. Well, the ISS Jelly is made to fight the Breen, and that's its main purpose. And it is an ISS Jelly in that regard. Always took your officers are forever advice. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to just be the negative Nancy here. My main thing is I don't want people getting excited for scrapping because that's just only going to lead to more disappointment. And the last thing this game needs is players disappointed even more than they already are. So anyway, what should you spend your Flashpoint currency on? Serene Squall if you don't have it. Definitely go after the Serene Squall if you don't have it. The Fleet Preset, if you're a free-to-play player, Fleet Preset. Definitely recommended. Black Market Schematics. Solid if you're working on Serene Squall because it does take a while to do. In terms of biggest value, though, maxing out Gwen DeMarco, Mastery Artifacts. Those are the biggest ones. Those are the biggest that are available. You can talk about the research and the Squall upgrade materials is up there. Obviously, the Fleet Preset is going to be huge. We can debate the Transgen Forge. I don't feel like the Transgen Forge is really slow to upgrade, though. I think it's a solid time frame. Maxing out Gwen DeMarco and then getting these artifacts. Huge. Bigly. Yeah, bigly. And if you're like me and you've not maxed out Gwen DeMarco yet, it's another good one. Sugarfat Man says he's getting Squall BPs, and since the store is up for a month, those BPs will come off every cooldown every week or so. Yeah, it really depends on what currency you've got. Because I'm sitting on 600,000 because I didn't spend any of my currency yet. Because I was saving up for the Fleet Preset. What level do you unlock that? Flashpoints, it's 40 and above. You're adding Scopa to your will. That way they can let me down one last time. Very nice, Corey. Very nice. We said add some ship to list of allowed scrapping like Nova and the stupid Sarco. Sure. Sure. I mean, the Nova would be scrapped when they allow G5 scrapping. The Sarco, I don't know if they'll ever do that one. So, more ignoring G3. What do you want me to say, bud? You got the building. You got the transigen building. And you can mine transigen. You just can't do flashpoints. So, while sitting on so much, I've got no reason to really jump in and do it hardcore. I said I'm going to do it for artifacts and stuff. Again, like, I don't really rush this game anymore. I ignore the FOMO. I don't really care if I'm, moving slow one week or fast another. I just slowly play the game and have fun doing it. I do need to upgrade these, though, just because we're speaking of them. Hey, Hemi, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. We do have the March of Progress right now, so it's incentive to upgrade all this. Hey, more ISO defense. I can live with that. I am curious, when y'all face the mastery artifacts, do y'all care more about what they give you? Also, I give a huge thank you to Luna, who just donated to me and my family to support the channel. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated. I'd say it all the time. It's never required, but let me tell you, if you want Rev's kids to eat, it is very much needed. Thank you, though, for supporting me and my family. Reminder, if you are a member on our website, revduce.com, we have movie night tonight for all of our lieutenants. We have a new podcast available, which is for any active paying member on our website, revduce.com. And if you want to support the channel individually, there are the PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App links. Never required, but I will say thank you so much for those who do, because I can't do what I do without folks like y'all donating. So a big thank you to those who support the channel financially, like Luna. You're very, very much appreciated. So as far as mastery artifacts go, it's actually an opportunity for me to put out a reminder to everybody here. If you're out there and you have some information that we do not have on this list yet, I'm the one who's been manually inputting it. As you can see, we still need one more tier from G6 players for some of these. For some of these, we need multiple tiers for G4 and G5. If you have any of this information, please let me know so I can input it. Send me the screenshots into here. But one of the ones that I'm focusing on is Mbenga's, the speed ups through Mbenga's storybook, because when I do go G6, it'll be great to have this thing tiered up and automatically be getting those speed ups. That'll save me so much. And another one is having the resources from Pike Sextant. Not only the abilities those will give you, but look, the Sigma that you can start getting every single day by having that tiered up. And see mine for reference. I'm going to put this on the screen real quick and then we'll move it. My Pike Sextant is tier 5. So if I was to go to Sigma right now, that means every day I'm getting 23,000 Sigma Par Steel, 4,400 Sigma Trit, and 2,400 Sigma Dill. And that's just a tier 5. Obviously, it scales pretty significantly. So these are really good. I think the storybook one is the best if you are at G6 or approaching G6, followed by the Sextant, although I also like all four of them. I think all of them are good. Then the debate comes into, okay, in terms of value, are we going to chase the abilities? Like, for example, the Apex Barrier is not that great, but Ritual Gone for Spock is going to give you more ship parts, which you might need. If you look at the Sextant, that's going to increase your base weapons damage. That's not the best value in the game in terms of in-game ability, but it is going to be great in terms of what it's giving you every day. And again, it's just finding that balance of what's more valuable for you. You've got the storybook right here, which is your base ISO defense, which I do like, and then the Vulcan Scroll, which is base ISO damage. So both of those being very good. And then there's where I've got the Vulcan Scroll right now. I've got it at tier 5. And you see working towards getting more ISO damage. Y'all know how I am about ISO currently in the game. There's no wrong answer, though. And again, this is a great place to use your Flashpoint currency to work on leveling these up. You can take advantage of that. Denmorosa says they're working on all four at the same time equally. Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. The one I'm closest to taking to the next tier is the Scroll. I'm closest to taking it to tier 6. So, ISO over Apex? Absolutely. Yeah. Because they released Apex Shred, which basically ruins Apex and PvP Big thank you to Christopher real quick for donating to support my family. Just got the buzz on my phone. Thank you for the love and support. That means a lot that you would help out me and my family. Thank you very much. But yeah, because there's so much Apex Shred, there are some ways to defeat Shred. For example, a mirror crew with mirror Hura, and you're assuming all that mirror crew is tiered. That can give you enough Apex Barrier to negate the Shred that's attacking you. But then the other problem is you just gave everything to Apex Barrier and you don't have an ISO build, an ISO Cascade, more shots, etc. So I lean to ISO. If you're a regular player out there, even a high-level G6 player, ISO and ISO defense are going to help you more than Apex Barrier. I'm not saying don't get Apex Barrier. I'm just saying I would say Spock's Ritual Gong is the weakest of the three because it doesn't even give you that much barrier. Like, you might think this is a lot of barrier, but in the world of Apex Shred, with multiple technologies giving you Shred, officers giving you Shred, research is giving you Shred, this would be fantastic if you were like level 60 and you could max it out. You would notice it, but if you're level 70 like John B is, it's not that great. It's okay, like you will notice a difference. It's an improvement, but it's not as good as the damage creation that ISO can bring you. And keep in mind also that even though I'm a heavy PvP player, go back down to the Gong, that's a PvP bonus. How many of y'all are as PvP dedicated as Rev Deuce? Most of you are not. Everybody can take advantage because these are just basic additions. This is just a basic boost for PvE, PvP, entities, armadas, everything. Basic boost for PvP, PvE, entities, armadas, everything. So that's why I focus more on generic ISO boosting than I do even the PvP focus stuff, just because you're getting a bonus for everything. And truthfully speaking, yeah, I guess if you max out the Gong, we can talk about it probably affecting some fights, but yeah. At 39, which one should I get? In terms of mastery artifacts, I don't think you can get a mastery artifact below 40. You can't. I don't think there's a way to get them. Is it in your flashpoints? That's a good question. No, you shouldn't have the flashpoint store. There's no way to get the mastery artifacts below 40. Now, if you get a few shards, like I said, grab the Vulcan Scroll or the Storybook. But there's not a way I'm aware to unlock the 4 mastery artifacts before G4. Now, you can get a couple shards, but there's not a way to unlock them. So, smash your base at the end of Incursions. Okay, random. I thought I was shielded the entire Incursion. I don't remember getting smashed, but... Oh, apologies. Is there a below deck that adds with Mirror Trader's loot drop? Are you talking about the boxes? No, there's nothing that affects the boxes for below decks. For PvP, would you max the GS31 or the Crenshaw? Both. Both. You start getting the resources or unlock or after maxing them. You start getting everything based on the tier those are at. So if they're tier 3, this is what you're getting if you're in G4, G5, or G6. If you're tier 7, this is what you're getting if you're G5 or G6. So it's based on whatever you're at. So just unlock the classic tricorder, and it's like the Glavin. Once unlocked, you can max it with temporal. There are several of those that you can do, and in our artifact spreadsheet, we do list all the ones that can be upgraded via temporal restoration. So if you're curious, go out and check out. GS31 thought it was a wave ship. No, GS31 is arguably the second best specialty ship in the game. We did an entire segment on the stream last night about it. We've got to wrap up here because it's time to start wrapping up. But might have to do another video. In terms of G6 players, the GS31 is behind only the Cube in terms of round 1 damage creation. So very, very good. Here, I'll give you a little preview of it just so y'all can see some numbers, because who doesn't love numbers? Give me 1 second. 1 second. I gotta plug this in. All right, so we'll do the board cube. 1 second. Give me a moment, chat. I'm doing it off screen, and then it'll be on screen. So if you're not seeing everything, don't freak out. I'm like, oh, Rev forgot about us. No, I'm hooking it up. I'm inputting the math. I'm doing the calculations. I'm not doing any calculations. I'm just manually putting this in. All right, there we go. We got to do the GS31. 1 second. And then we'll do Crenshaw. Sure. So, and remember, we're looking at this in terms of damage creation, and we're not including the beam itself. This is just the DPR of the GS31. GS31 is in green, Cube is in red, Crenshaw is in blue. Round 1 damage creation. 14.8 million is the static DPR of the GS31 at tier 15. More than the board cube, more than Crenshaw. And even if you take the Crenshaw to tier 18, it still has less standard round 1 DPR because, again, firing patterns are not the strong suit of G6 faction ships than the GS31. Now, the cube is an anomaly at tier 18 being ridiculous. Keep in mind that the cube is still the cube. I'm not saying the cube's not the cube, but the GS31, this is a preview. This is not the full episode of why the GS31 is great in G6. The GS31 puts out insane damage very quickly. And as I have told y'all before, base 1 or round 1 or alpha rounds, so versus beta rounds, those builds are always better in PvP than round 2, round 4 builds, right? So Crenshaw is stupid scary maxed out in G6. We've seen Crenshaws defeating Vengeances. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen every time you fight. There's things that have to happen to make that happen. But if we're talking about what provides the biggest oomph, the biggest scare, GS31 is an amazing specialty ship in G6 that you can use for standard runs every day and you can use for PvP. So, what tiers does the GS31 need to be to reliably beat the G5 Elite Solos? Tier 8. Tier 8. Again, depending on research, etc., blah, blah, blah. Cube makes G6 fairly easy, at least up in my ops, as long as you take an uncommon to tier 9. Yeah, the Cube is still the #1 ship, generally speaking, in G6. The Vengeance has a reason to have an argument there because it has such inflated numbers, but the Vengeance's problem and why the Vengeance can lose to Cubes and the Vengeance will lose to GS31s is because it's a round 2 build ship. It does not have a great round 1 firing pattern. It backloads to the even number rounds, whereas GS31 and board cube are front loaded into the odd number rounds. So, Cracks versus stats, Crenshaw's far superior. Dude, I've had GS31s eat Crenshaws alive. And y'all have heard me say the best PvP ship for a faction ship at 70 is the Crenshaw. But the Crenshaw suffers from having a G6 firing pattern as well, which is why things like cubes can take advantage of it as well as GS31s. Now, again, I'm not crapping on the Crenshaw. I encourage you, especially because you need an epic that's big anyway, to make your cube large, get the Crenshaw. It's amazing. I love it. But GS31 is shocking a lot of people because most people don't have it tiered up. But the people who've maxed theirs out already, who spend some pennies, are they're scary. They're hurting some folks. I'm not discounting the value of a Crenshaw, but I'm telling you, max GS31s are putting a hurting on people and they're wondering why. Well, front loading it with heavy ISO cascade damages and running your proper crews and stuff, it's scaring people. It just is. Now, it's great to have all of them, right? The Cube is still arguably the best ship in the game. We can argue the Vengeance versus the Cube. That comes down to crewing, FTs, CTs, etc. Right now, the Cube is a heck of a lot cheaper than a Vengeance is, though the Vengeance is already lowering from its original buy-in of about $20,000 US. So all these are worth a discussion on, but the GS31 is kind of like the shocker. Most people don't expect the GS31 to come out of nowhere and start dominating in G6. It just does. Like, the GS31 is not a bad ship, but you spend most of G4, G5 just using it for waves, and then at the very end it goes boom, pops up and just starts shocking folks. And again, that isn't counting the beam and its abilities. because if you combine the beam and its abilities with the actual DPR of the GS-31, and that is assuming you can get the beam off, assuming you can attack first and get those initial shots, you're going to take down Crenshaws, you're going to take down Cubes, maybe even a Vengeance. So, anyway, and yeah, 20,000 to unlock and max it, Pulp. Yeah. To just unlock the Vengeance when it came out was about 5,000 US, but to max it out was 20. And we've had a few people who did that. Now it's already getting cheaper than that. So it's already getting cheaper than that. But anyway, we will maybe we will cover this in another stream when we have a little bit more time. I do have to wrap it up, get it done. But if you have questions, comments, you want to help out the channel, hit me up on Discord, on X, on Facebook. I'm more than happy to field your call and give you some love. I greatly appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much to Luna and to Chris for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here. There's 350 of y'all. Like the video before you head out. It's crazy. So many people been here. So few people hit the like button. Greatly appreciate all of you. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. I will see y'all on the next show, which is Wednesday. We have a video out tomorrow, of course, and then stream tomorrow night. Live long and plunder. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Deuces. That's me. Catch you on the next Star Trek Flickman video. I love you. I'm out. We're done. We're done. Enough talking.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.